Hey guys, welcome to Operation Crypto. Price analysis on Vechain today. We're going to stick this week to doing individual videos for different assets, and we'll take a look at the charts to have a look at what's going on. Potentially we might do one video where we cover a broad spectrum of assets, but today we're just going to cover Vechain and go back to the old style videos that I used to do where we looked at an asset, we looked at some areas where we could either buy or take profit and have a look at what's going on across the general markets. But this is the Vechain chart here, and we've had a nice rise from the bottom, to be honest. I mean, look at them levels down there. We're considering buying on this band, and I never did. end up buying some Metis instead, I think. So I'm not actually holding any Vechain at the minute. But it's an asset I have held for years and years. I did sell some last year, obviously, and then I've not managed to get back in. So price has come up to a level of resistance now. But if you look at the very bottom here, so if you look at this in terms of a price range from the very lows down at 1.5 cent, so far we've done pretty much a 2x. We're up at 108%. We are now at around 3.1%, and we are pushing up. And we'll, like I say, we'll take a look at buy levels and sell levels. We're on the daily time frame here, so if we just jump out to the weekly, I've got this level marked up here, which is quite a big level of weekly resistance at 0.033. So that's around 3.3 cent. If you're looking at past, and we'll just mark these areas up here, it was a solid level of resistance here back on the 15th of August 2022. A level of resistance here after we lost it, that support level. I mean, you can see around here we got a few rejections, not exactly, but they are around that region. So that's 3 taps of that region, which usually for me confirms an area of support or resistance. And then beyond that, we've got a nice level of liquidity up here. I mean, if you just drag it away across, you can see this bottom wick bounced there, and that's at around 4.3 cents. So firstly, let's have a look on the daily time frame at levels to buy if we do get a pullback, because remember, things are starting to trend up now. That is a good uptrend there, and you can see, if you want to put a trend line on from the bottom, you can see that we are tapping that level there and reversing. So things are pushing on. Everybody is wondering, is this just a bear market and a little rally within between? So far it is. I mean, Bitcoin's not done anything substantial. We have had a push up from 15k to 24k. And just quickly look at Bitcoin chart. For me, I think we need to get price action above 29, 30k before we saw any major bullish narrative, and I don't think we're quite there yet. I think we're going to get test potentially 28, 29k at some point, but I think it will be rejection off there. But back in Vechain, so far we're pushing up. And if we want to buy right, then we've got to look at some levels. We've got another level of weekly support down here at 2.6 cent. That's the region where we could come to. But if we look at this latest move here, because we had a push up, we had a retracement. If we're looking at this latest move here, from the bottom move to the top, and if we do pull back on the daily time frame, we're going to look at buys at 2.8, 2.7, 2.5 and 2.4 cent. Those are regions where I would potentially place bids if the narrative doesn't get thrown in his face and we start to get major pullbacks across the board, because it's still very indecisive, isn't it? What is going to happen across the crypto markets? What is going to happen? It's a very debatable subject, and I still think so far it's a bear market rally. But remember, assets can still go on for months and months. We're now into the second month of the year, and price action is most favourable so far. So nothing to say that I can't go on for another 2 months, but people are starting to get very, very wary of what's going on. But yeah, those are levels to buy. I mean, if we did get a major sell-off across the markets, there's always that possibility we come down and retest these levels again. So if you're looking to buy the asset for a long-term investment period, then I'd save some capital just in case it does come back down here. But this region here, this green band, is a level where I'd be happy to buy if it did come down again at around 1.7 cent. And below that, I mean, we've got a major level down here at 0.008. That's less than a cent, but I'm not so sure it'll come down there. There's that possibility that we do retest those lows again, but for me, I don't think anything is going to go below that. Fingers crossed. So yeah, if you're looking to buy, then just wait out. Use these levels as your guidance, potentially down here at 2.1 cent, and then look down at 1.8 cent is some areas to potentially load up. But remember, price can always go lower than you expect, and I don't expect it does, so therefore, who knows. But yeah, looking at price now in terms of selling, then we can use the extensions on this Fibonacci. So I'll put the fib on as I usually would look to buy, but if you go into the settings and put negative 0.27 and negative 0.618 there, Vechain gives you some good selling levels above that region. We know we've got this big thick block up here of liquidity, which is that level there, which was a previous level of support. So for me, first selling position would be here at 3.3 cent. Above that, we've got 3.4, 3.8, and then a big selling opportunity up there at 4.4 cent. I think that would be a huge area to take some profit if the price did come up there, because I mean, even if the price does push up from current prices, say the highs there, you're still looking at another 38% move before we do push up. If the price does continue above that, then you're looking at around 6.9 cent, which would be a massive level. And then we've got 8.3 cent. I don't want to get too excited and start talking about those levels, but they are levels of opportunity if the price does get there. And again, we've got this level here, which I've not marked up. We'll put a bit of a horizontal ray there. If you look at that region, major support level there, major resistance level there. So that's at 5.6 cent as well. So that's another level you could potentially look at targeting there. 4.3 and 5.6 cent. So we've talked about levels to buy and levels to sell. I'm not going to look at any levels above there really, 5.6 cent, because that's still a long way off, and like I say, the markets are very indecisive. Looking at a couple of indicators, we can put the 200-day moving average, which we're now above that. That's usually a good sign of a potential bull market. If you're looking in previous history, look at that. The 200-day, we was above it for a long time. Obviously, we had some rejections, come back through it, but every time we're creating all-time highs, we was above that. We rejected off it back in March last year. We rejected off it again back in November of last year, and now we are above it. And look at that, we bounced off it as support. So that 200 daily moving average is now support. Make of that what you will, but I think that's a good sign so far. I mean, if you look at this in previous, if we go back to a past, if you look here, we did actually get back above it, and we rejected from it a few times, but the vast majority of the time, once we're above it, we are in bullish price action. So that's just something to be wary of, that we are now back above that. And fingers crossed, we start to see some more positive price action, because 100% of 2x, that's nothing in crypto, especially for big legacy projects like this. I've noticed actually quite a few legacy projects are not really starting to see major growth yet, and I think this is one. I mean, I've got Neo at the bottom right here, which is actually busting through up into resistance. That's an asset again, which is above a 200 daily moving average, and it's into resistance, very much like Vechain. They're all looking very similar. So let's see if we bust that resistance, then the price will follow it, and we'll start to see some good growth. But in terms of analysis on Vechain, we've talked about levels to buy, levels to sell. Price predictions there for you to use at your disposal. But for me, I'm still hesitant to what's going to go on in the markets, but what I am doing is starting to take profit, not massive amounts, but on every asset I own, I'm just starting to skim bits of profit off, because you never ever know when that market is going to flip round. You could go to sleep one night, bang, wake up in the morning, and all your profit's gone. So that's it for me today. That's my thoughts. If you're new to this channel, please make sure that you are subscribed. I'm going to try to do daily content from now on. And also jump into my Telegram group. You'll see the link in the description. If you jump to my link tree, you'll see the Telegram, even the Discord group in there, and my Twitter. So everything on there for you to follow. But that's it. Like I say, if you're new here, please make sure that you are subscribed, and I'll catch you next time.